How to de-escalate a fight or stressful situation using psychological approaches, body language, and voice tone. Conflict is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to escalate into a fight or hostile encounter. Learning how to de-escalate a tense situation is a crucial skill, whether you're dealing with a personal argument, a workplace disagreement, or even a potential physical confrontation. By leveraging psychological principles, body language cues, and the tone of your voice, you can diffuse tension and create a pathway to resolution. Here is a comprehensive guide on how to de-escalate a fight or stressful situation. Understanding the psychological dynamics at play during a conflict is the foundation of effective de-escalation. Here are some psychological principles and techniques to apply. One of the most powerful tools for de-escalation is empathy. When people feel heard and understood, their defensive walls often come down. Active listening. Give the other person your full attention, nod, maintain eye contact, and use verbal affirmations like "I see" or "I understand." Paraphrasing. Repeat what the person is saying in your own words to show that you understand their perspective. For example, "It sounds like you're upset because you felt disrespected." If you allow your own emotions to spiral out of control, you'll have a hard time calming the other person. Use techniques like deep breathing, grounding exercises, or even a brief mental pause to maintain your composure. Pause before reacting. Take a moment to process what's happening. A calm response is far more effective than a reactive one. Reframe the situation. Instead of seeing the conflict as a personal attack, view it as a problem to solve together. People often escalate when they feel threatened, even if the threat is perceived rather than real. Validation. Acknowledge the person's feelings without necessarily agreeing with their perspective. For example, "I can see why you're upset. This situation is frustrating." Non-threatening statements. Avoid accusatory language like "you always," and instead focus on collaborative phrasing such as "let's figure this out together." Your body language communicates just as much, if not more, than your words. Here's how to use it to diffuse tension. An open, non-threatening stance can help signal that you are not a threat. Relaxed hands. Keep your hands visible and open to show that you're not hiding anything. Neutral stance. Stand at an angle rather than directly facing the person, which can feel confrontational. Non-verbal cues can subconsciously influence how the other person feels. Slow movements are key. Quick, jerky movements can heighten tension. Instead, move slowly and deliberately. Maintain eye contact. Too little eye contact can seem evasive, while too much can feel aggressive. Aim for a soft, steady gaze. If someone is highly agitated, immediately projecting complete calmness may seem dismissive. Instead, subtly match their energy level and gradually bring it down. For example, if someone is yelling, acknowledge their intensity with a firm but calm voice, then progressively lower your tone and pace to encourage them to follow. Invading someone's personal space can escalate the situation. Maintain distance. Stay at least an arm's length away unless the situation demands otherwise. Avoid looming. If the other person is seated, consider kneeling or sitting so you're at eye level rather than towering over them. Your tone of voice can significantly influence the emotional atmosphere of an interaction. Here are some tips to use your voice effectively. A calm and slow tone can help reduce the other person's sense of urgency or anger. Even pitch. Avoid raising your voice as it can be interpreted as aggressive. Controlled speed. Speaking too quickly can escalate anxiety, so slow down your pace. What you say matters, but how you say it matters even more. Avoid negativity. Instead of saying "don't do that," try "let's focus on something else." Reassuring tone. Use a tone that conveys understanding and a desire to resolve the issue. As with body language, you can use your voice to mirror the other person's intensity and then guide them to a calmer state. For example, if someone is shouting, start with a slightly firm tone to acknowledge their energy, then gradually lower your voice to encourage de-escalation. Now that we've covered the psychological principles, body language, and voice tone, let's put it all together into actionable steps. Before engaging, evaluate the context and potential risks. Before engaging, evaluate the context and potential risks. Is it safe? Ensure that you're not putting yourself in immediate danger by intervening. What's the trigger? Identify what might be causing the other person's agitation. How you enter the interaction sets the tone. Announce your presence. If appropriate, let the person know you're there, but avoid startling them. Use non-threatening language. Open with a neutral or calming statement like, "Hey, let's talk about this." Building rapport can help diffuse tension. Use their name. Personalizing the conversation can create a sense of familiarity. Find common ground by highlighting any shared interests or goals, such as resolving the issue peacefully. Show that you understand their feelings without necessarily agreeing with their actions. Reflect their emotions, for example, "I can tell you're really upset. Let's figure out how to fix this." Steer the dialogue toward resolution. Ask open-ended questions, for example, "What do you think would help right now?" Offer solutions by suggesting ways to address their concerns without escalating the conflict. Not every situation can be resolved immediately, and it's okay to step back if things aren't improving. Exit gracefully by saying something like, "Let's take a break and revisit this later." If the situation becomes dangerous, prioritize safety and involve authorities or other professionals. Thanks for watching. Visit covertstreetwarrior.com. Stay safe and stay informed.